Let's go see how the day's looking. It's a lovely day today, and it's a lovely day to make a video and give you guys a world tour. Alright, so let's properly get into it. So basically this is Diamond Island 5. This is the 5th world in the series of world me and my friend Dashan have been making. We've been going from Diamond Island 1, which I didn't originally join, all the way through to Diamond Island 5. So I've played through Diamond Island 2, 3, 4 and 5, and I'd probably say 4 and 5 is where I've put in the most amount of input I could possibly say I've done. And basically we've been making these worlds now for absolute years, and obviously this being the most newest one, and it is a lot different compared to previous ones. So this one, for example, has a lot of kind of, not mods, but like kind of add-ons to the game. So certain structures will generate, but they'll generate differently, and mobs will generate normally, and it kind of keeps that vanilla vibe, but it will still have like little extra things added on. Okay, so while we're here, we might as well actually start off by saying this is the original spawn chunks and everything, and this is eventually going to turn into the shopping district, and the only major shop we actually have here so far is my rock shop, which is pretty much sold out now from when we started off. I don't actually have my ender chest on me at the minute, but this is where we originally started off, and it pretty much just kind of has just had a lot of trees chopped down and kind of having stuff moved around. But as far as I'm aware, I believe this current structure, which Dashan is working on, obviously it is only just that little bit so far. This structure is going to be like where spawn will actually be. So spawn will be in here somewhere. While I'm here as well, I can't exactly remember what these command blocks do, but yes, that was it. Now I do remember. So because we wanted to kind of have this world where we kind of tried to not use Elytra as much as possible, we've kind of gone with the idea of having more of a rail system, just because we feel like it would be a bit more fun to have rails and kind of actually have to work to get to where you want to get to, instead of just flying up into the sky. So we did have an original kind of like pathway. It was just kind of like little bits of grass kind of chopped up, just to kind of jot where we would have to go, because as you can see there is a bridge over there which does lead to the weed, and yeah, you kind of just got on a horse and you went, and that's kind of how we wanted to travel, because we didn't want everything being really close so that you then have to, you know, you just kind of come out your door and it'd be there. You know, we wanted it so you'd have to actually travel different areas, which are quite a nice thing to have. Now before we do leave to go to the weed, I'd also like to add, this is a structure that Dashan has made. As you can tell, it is a giant rat, and I would also like to just add, yes, that is the way you have to get in and out of the rat. I would like to just say it does look really cool from the outside. Obviously not finished yet. There is quite a few projects that aren't quite finished and kind of just in the process. So yeah, let's head down. This leads down now to probably the furthest point, I believe, of the actual rail system. That over there is an ender pearl respawn anchor kind of thing. I haven't actually messed around with that yet, but that is kind of what that is over there. But yes, as you can see here, this is the rail line. I believe, I haven't actually used this section of the rail line yet, but I believe if I press that, I should have rails come up in a minute from over here. There we go. Okay, and yes, we have now made it, as you can see, to the weed. And this is also a big thing that we wanted to try and do. We tried to not use signs for like big places. When we come into places, we want to try and use like actual banners to kind of make it pop and stand out. But yes, this is the rail line that comes straight through weed, and this, I believe, is the service hatch. Yep, this is the service hatch to be able to get underground to, well, service any of the redstone issues. I don't delve into like all the redstone stuff and everything, because that is more Dashan's kind of thing. So originally, before all of this train line and his stuff was here, it was a lot more animal friendly. in the sense of you'd have animals and they'd be free roam animals. But apparently, since then, Dashan has kind of made an auto wool farm. I have not a clue how it works. I only come here when it counts to buying stuff from the shops, for example. So any wheat, any potatoes, which he's currently out of stock on. Dashan, get on the jacket potatoes. They're my main source of food at the minute. And then yeah, all the different kind of colours wool, which is quite handy to have, especially for when you need to mark out builds and stuff like that. I'd also like to add, this originally was full and vibrant, full of villagers. Dashan, I greatly apologise. I accidentally started a raid and couldn't end up finding one of the pillagers, and then came back about an hour later, IRL time, came back, and unfortunately all the villagers had gone. But yes, this was originally the villager house, lots of beds pretty much. That was mainly what it was, just loads of beds around. Yes, this was originally the kind of mini shopping area we had before we decided to turn the spawn chunks into kind of the shopping district. So this was my original little pop-up shop. As you can see, it is completely sold out, and that is also mainly down to the fact I've moved my shop now back over to there. But yes, that section over there was originally shopping and also where most of the villagers were kept. So now we're moving on to Dashan's little slice of life, shall we call it. This is pretty much been his home since we started, realistically. Since we moved out from the spawn chunks and found our own areas, this is, well, this is basically it. This is where he keeps all his stuff, his house. This is just where he comes back to pretty much at the end of the day. But yes, basically Dashan wanted to go along with the idea of having a proper kind of farm this time around. So originally he would have done like a big project, for example. In Diamond Island 4, he drained out an entire ocean monument and turned the whole thing into his base. Also so that he can have a guardian farm as well, which was obviously quite handy. But this time around, as you can see, he wanted to do a farm with even little scarecrows like so, kind of sticking up just to keep the little pesty chickens and birds and stuff away. But yeah, this is kind of Dashan's little slice of the land, just kind of wanting to have a basic farm. And yeah, this is Capshan's somewhat latest kind of build, I guess, in the sense of it's an actual structure instead of like a redstone project or bits of a farm, if you get what I mean. So this is kind of his like main go-to structure, because I really do like his builds. They're generic, but also at the same time they have got a sense of like old school and also like modern day-ish. I do not have a minecart on me. Oh no, we can't have that. I need to get some iron quickly. Okay, so I'd like to add, I've got a minecart now, but it ended up being an absolute palaver, down to the fact I got attacked by an enderman and a creeper, so I kind of got a bit screwed in the backside there. Hence why I'm now down to XP level 8 instead of 13. But yeah, I found a minecart, came up and was having a little look around, and it turns out Dashan had one in here the whole time. So all of that, and he had one anyways. But while there's a skeleton there, let's just say sod it and let's head straight on down. But yeah, as you can see here, this is obviously natural generation and it looks remarkable with shaders. Let me just remove them from my hotbar, and you can really get a vibe for what it actually all kind of looks like. It genuinely looks so good. Some people might prefer me playing without shaders. If you do, you'll have to let me know down below. But I really do just like it. I haven't got them set to max, because when I set them to max it does start changing like certain textures of things, which I wasn't much of a fan of. But yeah, that is where the rail liner ends. There is another secret project there, which we're going to look at in a minute. But as far as I'm aware, the main skelly burner, which I'd rather not deal with while I'm on a narrow platform. But yes, this eventually is going to end up being pretty much like a kind of zoo in a way, or kind of a chamber to show that he's kind of caught all the different mobs in the game. excluding the Ender Dragon as far as I'm aware, because I believe that would be one, impossible, and two, very glitchy and buggy for the game if he could. But we'll just have to kind of wait and see what he does with all this space, because there is a lot of open space here which you could do a lot with, which would be pretty cool to see. Ah, great. You guys are going to get like 5 seconds and I'll be down there. I'm going to have to run all the way down to that end where the redstone machine is. I'll see you guys down there. Wasn't actually as far as I thought it was. I thought we had gone a lot further with the drill that is up there. But while I'm here, I'm going to kind of show you this quickly. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I'm kind of just going to show you. This is one of the structures that I was talking about earlier. And basically it's all the structures have kind of been modified and kind of given an extra buff. So I'm assuming obviously you guys can kind of tell this is an abandoned mine shaft, but it's an abandoned mine shaft with like so much more going on in it, with different levels that have staircases and everything. I'm not sure exactly where this one's going to go to. And as you can see, you've got like things turning the lights on and stuff, and like we have, I believe, been through this one before, hence why there's not much loot in it. But it literally just kind of, you know, you've got all of this, plus you do still have your normal structures. And the only one structure that hasn't been modded or up to kind of yet is the trial chambers. Okay, so now we are here. This is the piece of resistance, I guess you could say. Is that? I'm trying to work out what that is. I need my torches in my offhand again now that I've taken them out. I can't see. Thank you. There we go. But yeah, this is kind of a piece of resistance. I might as well just grab this lapis while I'm here. There we go. That's all I need. But yeah, as you can see, this is it. This is what I came down here to show you guys. Let me just eat up before using this. I want to have my hunger all the way up. But yes, this is pretty much just a drill that is eventually going to end up hitting Elgard, and this is just going to drill through underground all the way through. But it basically, I'm not sure how all the ins and outs of it works, but from what I know, you just press that, it dupes a bit of TNT, flings it over, and it blows up. And you basically just keep doing that. Any ores that come up or anything you want to mine, you go and mine it, then you come back, you fire again, and it blows up eventually. And it is day 13,754. It is quite nice having a day counter on there as well. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. That was a bit stupid of me. But yeah, that is basically what I came down here to show you guys. And yeah, so that is all of the weed plus the mine that is underneath the weed. So yeah, now we're going to move on to Elgard, and I'm going to have to meet you guys back up at the train station. And after a long trek back all the way from the mine over there, we are now back. We are here, and we're going to head over to Elgard now. So basically, this station, I know how this station works. To get a minecart, you press this, you come on over to here, you come over to this side, you see them go around that way, and you'll see in a minute, there it is, pops out of here, and you just hop in like so. As you can see, we are here in Elgard. I have a thing about kind of like, I don't know if it's Norse or Greek or whatever kind of mythology it is, but I kind of like the theme of Skyrim, and I thought Elgard fits this kind of, the idea of what I wanted to build quite well. I haven't finished decorating this yet. Capshan just kind of, Dashan, sorry, kind of just put this all together, and it's very brief and just how it is. Here we are. This is Elgard. Well, Elgard so far anyways. I have definitely need to put a lot more work into developing my compound. Ignore the stairs that are going up the side of my in progress clock tower. It is currently still being built, and it was the only way I could get up and down, because as you can see, the outside is looking somewhat, you know, a bit better with some weeds and stuff kind of growing up it, like so, and a couple of bits, you know, just here and there, some windows. But if I head inside, you'll see it is completely empty. It is like completely bone dry empty. Yeah, I have got windows up there. But yeah, this is actually going to be a project that I do all the like actual building work for, but there is going to be a working clock face up there at the top of the clock tower. It is going to be a working clock face, which will obviously use redstone. Dashan is going to do that because I don't know how to use redstone whatsoever. Obviously, we have the entrance to the Elgard Central City train line, which is obviously just here, and then eventually all of these houses will be demolished, and I'll have some more little houses and bits of bobs around. But yes, moving on to the next structure. Oh my god, I really need to keep up with maintenance on keeping all of these kind of chopped back and everything, because they start to get really out of hand. It's the only problem you get with vines. They start going proper out of control, and a lot of my builds, like you can see here for example, they do include the vines, because this is kind of my building style in a way, where I like to have it medieval kind of vibe. But I kind of set myself a challenge this shall we say season of Diamond Island, where I wanted to try and work on doing better with my roofs, because that was the one thing I majorly struggled on before I started Diamond Island 5. I could not build a roof to save my life, but I think with this one I'm pretty happy with how this roof turned out on the train line. This was my first proper attempt with the roof, and this leads into what is the library. As you can see, there isn't many books currently in storage, but this is the library, and you have obviously all your enchantment needs can be met here. It is mainly full mostly of just miscellaneous bits and bobs at the minute, but as you can see there is books. I'm not sure what these books are, probably Blast Protection 4, which I believe, yeah, I've already got that anyways. We also have a back door here for the unfortunate deceased librarian. Well, this is the thing, I don't believe he is deceased. I believe Dashan or someone has stolen him and waiting for me to come and find him again. But this is the back entrance for the librarian. This is the librarian's house and everything. It is quite a nice area that I've settled on, because this is right up my alley with all the building blocks I need around. As you can see, there is the sun rising up, and genuinely I just want to show you how much I can appreciate distant horizons, because that is Elgard over there. Like, yeah, when you zoom in it might not look the best, but you can actually see Elgard from all the way from over here. Anyways, yeah, so the rest of the village has kind of just not really been touched yet, excluding down by where my boat harbour is and all of this. This is my original first little bit of the land I kind of did try and build on and everything. A lot of this still needs to kind of be done, but there is just so many projects. It's kind of hit and miss and kind of picking out projects, but once I've done my clock tower, I'm not going to be starting any new projects. I'm just going to be working on the ones that are currently here and everything. But yeah, this is my boat harbour, so obviously you can get on the boat and you can head on out. For me, I don't actually need a boat anymore. I have Frostwalker. But yeah, if I wanted to, I could then sail out over to there, for example, which would then obviously lead to the weed. And as far as I'm aware, I believe Dashan is going to be building a boat port over there as well, because this is basically a big old harbour in a way. So if I kind of explain it, if you go anywhere over here, you're not going to find a way to get in and out of this little kind of lake. But if you were to go around that way, that's when it leads out to kind of the ocean and everything. Basically being, you know, you've got a harbour, you've got loads of different boating areas, and then you can get out to the ocean from here as well, which is quite nice. And yes, this is then the second part of my compound that I built. This is the where my mine is. Obviously, as you can see, I have not been keeping up with making sure vines and weeds and stuff like this are all cut back. But yeah, as you can see, there is a lot of different bits and bobs that just kind of need to be finished off around here. So before I start any of my other stuff, I'm going to be finished off that. I was about to say, is there no water running down there? Yeah, there is water, I was going to say. I forget about these all the time. I need to take them off. There we go. But yeah, this is my little pond, kind of like my little quiet area do you mind? My little quiet area, as you can see, vines overgrowing again. I feel like my next major project after this will probably end up being I'll settle somewhere else and actually make like a kind of zombie apocalypse style kind of build. I reckon that could look pretty good. But yeah, I kind of wanted to make it look like this wall was crumbling or something, and it's kind of having to be held up by everything that you can see here. But yeah, this is obviously my little mining area, and also just kind of like a little quiet retreat area. Got two little fishies in my pond, and they have actually been there since I originally kind of formed this land. Forming the land and actually building up the wall, as you can see, that goes around, it took probably the longest time because I had to obviously measure out, get some help from Dashan with making sure it was as kind of symmetrical as possible, and then also putting up all the trees and everything, and you know, chopping down all the trees, getting the wood. It took a while, but yeah, this is kind of like the little retreat spot where you can kind of come to. It's just quiet, and you kind of get a gist of what's going on around you, and just take a minute if you need to. And then yeah, we have here the Elgard mine, which do I need it? Oh, I need it as blue dye. That might help. And let me just get some blue dye. I do like the colour blue. There we go. So I wanted to have it as blue. But yeah, this mine is just very simple. You come down and you mine left or right. I won't bother showing you down there because there's not really anything down there to see. It's just, as you'd expect, a normal kind of Minecraft mine. But yeah, that is actually Elgard. And well, as you can see, welcome to the crack in big glowing letters as well. That I just have. Now you may be wondering how you can get a box from the Nether. Well, you're about to see why this is a crack. It is a bit of a trek to get here. It is probably the furthest point away from everything. As you can see here, we have dug out through one of the new structures as well that's been added in by the brilliant mind of Dashan. Yeah, as you can see, here we are. There seems to be quite a few, so I'm just going to send them back to Elgard. But yeah, as you can see, this is currently probably the major area that is still massively under construction out of all of them. But yeah, we've got this building here, which is my next project to finish off, because I started doing it and it was like, this building here is supposed to represent one of the previous buildings from Diamond Island 3 or 4, I believe. Kind of just wanting to show that off, but just kind of needs to be finished up and all done up and everything. And then yeah, here we have a brilliant project from Dashan the Nag's Arse, as you can see. Coming here, it's basically just a nice looking pub, except from heading upstairs. As you can see up here, now I must add, there is a character in this game called Evil Dashan that seems to keep wanting to, you know, basically take over all of Diamond Island 5. But yeah, as you can see, it is basically just a massive kind of farm for nether wart. Pretty much it. There's nothing majorly fancy about it. And then yeah, you can just come on back out. And then yeah, now let's move on to something I was actually pretty proud of being able to pull off, because I didn't want just a normal ass looking nether portal. I wanted one that looks like it's kind of shattered through somewhere and kind of formed in the world naturally. So as you can see here, we have the crack. I've kind of tried to make it look like the actual blocks themselves have kind of separated and pulled apart and everything, making this nether portal crack between, adding some different heads and stuff into the game, which has been really nice to have all the different kind of heads you can add in. Now, this area here, I really want to be careful going into. So this area here is actually where one of the most amazing structures is, which has hardly been explored. As you can see, it kind of just stops, and then there is going to be an elevator that goes down eventually, but for now it's just a ladder, because this is actually the new end structure, ender portal structure room thing. I don't really know what you call them, but yeah, come all the way down here. There is water at the bottom, I hope. Yes, there is. That gave me some levels as well. And what did I get? Did I get anything from that? I thought I would have. I do have to be really careful around here, because we did get a really good spawn with where we started and everything, because that is the end portal frame up here. Obviously there was a spawner there. While I'm here, I might as well just say solid and just stick one there and one there. Why not? But yeah, as you can see, this is the new end portal structure, and this is actually. Oh, where is my shield gone? I've only just realised that, and I've got a random iron sword on me. I've only just realised that I haven't got my shield on me. I didn't realise that. But yeah, this is where I did originally get my shield from. It's not completely been like done up and stuff yet. There is also this, which we didn't place it. This was a natural spawning structure as well, and yeah, you kind of have to look through everything here because there is stuff in everything. And as you can hear there, that is obviously that's a witch. I must have put my shield somewhere. I forgot about it. I'm not going to do landing. No, I'll have to find that at some point. I'll have to find it. But yeah, oh, got stuck in a cobweb there. But yeah, this is actually probably my favourite structure because this is not one we made. This is naturally, this is a naturally spawning structure, and I think genuinely I would like to maybe set up some kind of base eventually in one of these. Not specifically this one because this one is kind of like the community one in a way, but I'd like to be able to set one up that is a bit closer, a bit further away, sorry, eventually nearer to the end game as a final base. But yeah, I wish not to stay down here too long because I cannot even express. Actually, I can express because I can get up here in a minute and I can show you guys the graveyard that is up here of all the amount of times both me and Dashawn have actually died going down here. Well, I guess it's kind of fitting that I'm at the little grave area that we have and it is raining. So Dashawn actually put all together his. I actually never got around to putting all of mine together, but this is just this is 7 times, so we went down there probably a good few times, but the amount of times that we would go down there and you'd have the Vex would then fly back up, and when the Vex would then fly back up, they'd come all the way back up here, and they would literally just fly out and keep on attacking you and everything. It was absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, this has been the crack. But yeah, this is the video. This is the video, guys. Yeah, exploring Diamond Island 5. Going over everything that is here and built. It genuinely, it's been amazing. Properly showing you guys all of this and everything. I have had so much fun. I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing how far we've come in this world and the whole of Diamond Island in general, hearing about the story of all of it. Just as it actually sets the night, that is pretty good timing, watching the sun go down, which is really nice. And you can see behind me all of the little places and stuff like that, and you can even just about see the crack from here, which is insane. But yeah, if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more Minecraft content or any other content that's adventure, horror, anything like that. And yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments below about Diamond Island and the history of all the Diamond Islands we've done. And yeah, if you have any future build ideas, also let me know, and I'll make sure that I get onto all of them builds eventually. I promise I will. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Stay safe. Goodbye.